So which hand do you think? I might swap. What are you doing, left hand?
I'm going right hand.
Well, I mean...
Because I'm drinking with my left, with my new Junji Ito mug.
All right, we're not sponsoring Junji Ito. However wonderful he is through the fire and flames as we come, I do have a question for you.
What's up, man?
How many YouTube channels with 33 subscribers do you think have uploaded in 4K video?
First of all, I probably not many. Second of all...
That's my point.
That's his point. Point made. Second of all, there's a very slim possibility this is not in 4K, but...
What? Should we check?
No. I mean the video that people are watching, but we're at least recording in 4K.
No. We'll upload in 4K.
Okay.
Because they have quality options.
All right, I'm just making.
Unless you're just
I'm just saying. There's a possibility. I don't want to.
We paid money for this.
I don't want to promise before it's up.
This came out of our pockets.
I'm just saying I don't want to promise before it's up. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to make a false promise because we haven't uploaded it yet. There's a possibility YouTube might be. You have 32 subscribers. We're not going to be 4K.
That's a good point.
That's all. Yeah.
That's a good point. I did not think about that, but okay. That's all I wanted the shades for because we're cool. You know, should I leave them on?
Put them back on, man. You look like.
I got some hot takes today.
I mean, we are looking at the 2 hot lights, so
it's not too bad. If I look at you, I don't need them.
I'm wearing. Audio listeners, I apologize. We're talking about a new camera we have.
Yeah.
In front of us, it is a Sony AX53.
I don't like having the viewfinder pointing towards us because I realize how much shorter than you I am. Don't do that. Maybe it's the chair.
The quick thing about cameras. So I've been following cameras for I don't know about 5.
Yeah, he was a big help on finding this one.
I don't understand how they name their damn cameras.
It's engineering
shit. Is there
an
AX54? No. Is there an AX52?
There's an AX50 and a 55, and 3 is between those numbers.
Okay. There's also an AX100 that came out years before this one came out. Which it's like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1.
Okay, have it up with the engineering people. I am almost certain I've heard this before. It is because the engineers have a code. It makes sense to them,
right? Not
to us.
But this will make it better, not only for the video watchers, because it's higher quality, we look nicer, but also I would say for the audio listeners, because there are some times when, in the last few episodes, where you'd hear a random clap in the middle of the episode. It's because I'm resyncing the audio to the video. And now that won't happen because the video will go for the entire time.
We were just keeping you on your toes before. So, hey, wake up. You listening?
Yeah.
It's like the Netflix. You still there?
I could edit that off, but we'd be talking and with no point. So
no, it's fine. It's fine. Hold on. I got to get our reference material up for today because, you know, a lot of things in life, you know that saying, like, if you love something, let it go. If it truly loves you, it'll come back. You know what I'm saying?
I have heard this, yeah.
You've heard that. So I just got 2 new kittens, and
yeah, you haven't talked about that on the podcast.
I haven't. No, I just got them. So it's between episodes. Their names are Usagi and Sumi. Mm-hmm. Sumi because he looks like he's got ink on his tail because he's got a fully black tail and a little spot on his head.
Japanese, in case you couldn't figure that out.
Yes, because I wouldn't say I'm a weeb anymore because that doesn't change it. If I've been there, I could still be a weeb. It's up to you guys.
A lot of weebs that live in Japan, I would sure.
That's very true.
Foreigners.
So she's a Manx and doesn't have a tail. It's a breed that was born, or like at some point, the genetic chain went, hey, you don't need the tail anymore. And she looks like a little bunny. She's got big feet. But my point is, every time I leave them, I feel terrible. I have separation anxiety. And I know it's sad. And I know they're fine because they're home sleeping.
Right.
But from their perspective, it's like, he loves us. He'll come back. And just like the topic of today.
Well, I think it's, oh, sorry to cut off your segue. But I think it's like a kid. Not to make it even sadder for you. I think it's like a kid where when you are out of their vision, you do not exist. So they think you have just died until you return.
Yeah.
That's sad to think about.
So thanks for making me feel, I mean, it's the same thing.
But then think about how excited they are when you return.
It's very true. I'm very, it makes me happy to come home, but I get like I'm here right now. I'm just like, are they good? Are they chewing on literally everything behind my PC?
If you have depression, getting an animal is one of the best things you can do.
It's actually been good. It's made me take more care of myself because I'm like, well, if I'm spending this much time taking care of them, I might as well go
excited to see you.
Do this and
make
that.
you happy.
Yeah, I'm getting serotonin or whatever the drug in my brain is that makes me feel better all the time.
That's
it's just good.
Dopamine too.
Dopamine, that's that one. My knee is destroyed though because they like to climb on it. So my point being, to come into what we're talking about today.
Back to the segue.
Just like I leave them and they hope I come back because I love them. We have something that we have a love-hate relationship with, but it always comes back to us.
I would say, or mainly me, sorry.
You hate it. I love it.
I think it's the love-hate relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I think it loves us because it keeps coming back, and that's Unearthed Arcana. Today on the Dungeon Crawl, he's Ryan.
He's Braxton.
In 4K, we're going to be talking about probably the most controversial Unearthed Arcana on the Dungeon Crawl that I've ever seen.
Why is yours in a different language? He's got it open here, and I'm seeing. I think it's French. I'm
kind of scared, actually. Hold
I don't
on.
know how you got to this side of the website.
I have learned French overnight.
Now you're on a normal website. How did you get there?
I honestly don't know. And actually,
Just
okay,
click
here
this. Yeah, there you go.
We're good now.
Yeah, so he's pulling up the Unearthed Arcana. It is on Mages of Strixhaven.
What is Strixhaven? I know.
Strixhaven.
I didn't know before.
Really? Okay, well, let me inform everybody here. Strixhaven is a brand new Magic the Gathering set. Came out, a month or two ago? Something like that. Actually, maybe not that long. I don't know the exact date, but it came out a little bit ago for MTG. You can play it in your local game store or on MTG Arena. But
it's the online version.
So Strixhaven is the newest set. It's not like a Ravnica, if you guys have heard that name, or I guess a way to make it into D&D terms. It's not like when Forgotten Realms to get remade. It's not like a reset, not a return to a set.
Precisely.
So it's completely new.
Which we like. We like new stuff.
True. New stuff is good for sure. And it's kind of like a Harry Potter. I hate to say Harry Potter, but it is.
It is.
But,
very much so.
I mean, the difference is there are different colleges. In each college, I guess you could view them like different houses from Harry Potter.
Very much so. I mean, a lot of you have probably been to college. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah. But so each college, each house, I guess, for ease of use, are very unique, very different. I've kind of connected them. If you guys know Ravnica, the other MTG set I just talked about, they're very similar to different guilds. They all have their own specific characteristics. They all deal with their own specific personalities.
Right.
So all unique. I mean, MTG has to be. Each color type, ties into one of these.
Yes, a lot of people don't like the color type just because some of them have obvious flaws, but that's part of the strategy. But this is not a Magic the Gathering podcast. It might be at some point.
What?
What?
Oh, might be at some point.
Maybe.
So they decided to make this has been announced. We talked about it last episode that this was the one that hadn't been announced at the time, though, I believe. So there was a leak of 2 books that had come out. One was fully announced, the Feywild book, and now this one's been fully announced. With this, the Strixhaven book will be coming out after that in November. What's happening to my books? My table's falling apart on me. I feel like. And they said the reason they announced this book so early, they said, is because there was no way for them to release this Unearthed Arcana without obviously having a Strixhaven book.
Okay, I get it. And
though, granted, the leak happened before this.
And the leaks, they've obviously made a decision like earlier, as businesses do. But on the leaks, they themselves said that there was going to be a live event talking about both of them.
About that, yeah.
I don't remember when that's happening. I think it's sometime next week, or it should be in the 20s of June.
Yeah, it should be real soon. I can check it real quick.
You are balancing that so scarily.
Yeah, my thing here.
Just to jump into it real quick, there are 5 colleges.
July 16th, so it's next month.
July. Okay, so keep an eye out for that.
July 16th and 17th. It's happening. It's definitely being connected with the microphones. You guys are hearing these clicks or my table. Like, I feel like it's falling apart. That's scary.
It senses all the new things in the room. It's like, hey, it's time.
Maybe.
So in this case, we get a lot of subclasses.
Yeah, this is, 9 pages? Something like that?
It's 9 pages.
It's pretty big.
And let me get you all excited. If you haven't read this yet, it's 6 subclasses.
Yes.
Most people that hear that are like, pull the glasses down, hear the table click. What the hell is going on here? So don't get too excited yet, because these aren't unique subclasses for one of the player's handbook.
Wait, it's 6 subclasses?
Yeah, there's 6 subclasses.
It's only 5 colleges.
Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Am I crazy?
We'll figure it out. Yeah, 5 subclasses. You just can't count.
I can't count. We're bad at math.
In the first
We've
sentence.
proven this before, so it's okay.
It's written by Mackenzie DeArmas, which I apologize, do not recognize her name. Dan Dillon and Jeremy Crawford. I mean, everyone knows Jeremy Crawford, of course.
I'm sure he gets a final say on most things he jumps in on.
Probably. As
Dan
always,
Dillon. What a name, dude.
Dan Dillon. Yeah, that's a sick name. As always, this is a play test material.
Yeah.
So if you're going to use this stuff, ask your DM ahead of time if it's okay. So
I'm kind of proud of us, because we've gotten to the point that our Discord informs us of an Unearthed Arcana before I even know about it.
This actually came out a day before I even heard about it. So
I didn't hear about it at all. Ever. Yeah, I have still not seen anything online about this.
Really?
Unless I got to search it, nothing shows up for me. And maybe that's just because I watch VTubers all the time. I don't know.
That's probably it.
They do eat up my search feed. So if we could just preface this with saying, people in our Discord immediately were like, I don't like this. So this is how I went into reading it. So there's math.
I'm curious if we should talk about my overall opinions on this until after. Do you want to wait till we go through it and talk about our overall opinions on? Because I have opinions on A, picking this as a book. We talked about that a little bit last time. And B, the way that they're making these subclasses.
Let's go around first. I think people jumping in here most likely haven't been with us before and want to see our opinions. Hey, how's it going, guys? So, yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into like the overview because. So
we'll skip the brief description of the college.
We'll get into it.
We can talk about them when we get to the college.
So, from a standpoint, what you need to know right now before we go into this is these are subclasses to which multiple classes can use.
Yes.
Not every single one of them, but these are spellcasters only. So there are some classes where a warlock and a druid can use it, or a bard, a warlock, and a wizard can use this one.
Yes. And it replaces your normal subclass.
Yes. And it's kind of weird because say you hit like 3rd level as a warlock, they have a rule in there somewhere. It's like where you would normally get your stuff, but a lot of these you don't get things until X level. So it changes how your subclass levels up and at what levels you get things. But the elephant in the room, a subclass for all people.
Yes.
It is our subclass. Communism's jumping in here.
I'm going to start with this now.
Okay.
Before we get into it, because you kind of already prefaced it there. My first opinion on it is I almost wish, I say almost, because I'm not sure how I would feel about this either. Mm-hmm. I almost wish it wasn't like for example, the first one, the Lorehold College, Bard, Warlock, and Wizards can do this one. I almost wish it was complete. Any subclass can pick this up.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that.
Joe Schmo go into the Lorehold class or the Lorehold College. I can become a mage of the Lorehold.
Do you want to know why that is that way? Most likely is due to spellcasting being different between the people.
Though I will say, there is one later. I guess I'll wait till we get there. But there's one later that fits a class so perfectly, and that class is not included for that college for whatever reason.
It's not Ranger, is it?
No.
Okay, good. Well, I'm intrigued then. So it's interesting because they had to, from the outset, go, how do we balance this? Because obviously Jeremy Crawford values Warlock subclasses so much that they don't have a lot throughout 5e. So how do you balance abilities?
Sarcasm, right?
It is very much sarcasm. Well, no, he thinks they're very powerful. We don't.
Oh, that. But
so
he doesn't give them much stuff.
How do you balance an ability that says you can use a spell slot to cast this again or to use this ability again when you've got a class that both the wizard is in and the warlock is in?
It's very interesting to point this out too, because for example, bards, I could be wrong, tweet at us or comment below. I'm pretty sure they only get 3 subclass features as a bard. Mm-hmm. These all get 4.
So it's just a straight boost for the bard.
Well, yes and no. They get more features, but their features are less powerful. Because the reason why they only get 3 is because they're very powerful features. So, and I know you probably think of Warlock. In my opinion, and from a couple other articles I read, a lot of people are saying that the Bard gets the short end of the stick with these.
Yeah, I don't know much about a Bard, so I wouldn't be able to say it. I'm just...
Warlock is not far behind.
Definitely not, but it has other things within its class. I just don't know, like... mixing the class of Warlock with these subclasses works so weird with how the Warlock class just is in general and what they get. There's not a lot of synergy. So it's going to be one of those MMO cases or RPG cases where it's very much min-maxy. Like if you're playing the Mage of Lorehold, let's say, if you're not taking Wizard, you're just stupid. Now, not a lot of people in tabletop games are trying to play min-maxy, so it doesn't matter if you're not that type of person. Mm-hmm. But it's weird for this kind of balancing reason, because they had to enter into this saying, well, if we have the Mage of Lorehold here and we've got Bard, Warlock, and Wizard, now we have to balance between 3 classes because they can all use the same weapon. It's just like in, say, maybe Destiny, if a hunter gets this weapon, it's way more powerful than if it was on a Titan. So they have to balance looking at all of these things. In Smash Bros, when they introduce one character, they have to look at how each one of those characters matches up with all 80-something other characters. And they have never done something like this before.
Yeah, no, they have not.
No. And another thing that people don't enjoy is how difficult it is to put this into games that don't have Strixhaven or schools.
Similar to your complaints with Eberron, is that before they printed Artificer into a normal agnostic book, it felt weird to toss a Artificer into your normal everyday game.
And sure, the statement goes, well, you can just change Strixhaven to this guild or this other school in my world. And that's fine. Honestly, when I look at subclasses, I'm mostly trying to go for what's the mechanic because I can fit into my world regardless.
Yeah, they don't try to make this agnostic at all.
No.
It says all over it that this is what the lore hold is. This is, you're becoming into part of this college.
Yeah. And before we get into kind of the majority of it, I, for the first time when I got this link, read through the entire thing right away. Which doesn't happen a lot because most often it's just like, okay, I see this is a bard subclass and a wizard subclass. I'm not dying to look at it. Let's check it out later. Warlock is in this, yes, but this was so different that I just had to go straight through it. And with the pre-existing opinion of some of our friends in the Discord saying they disliked it, I was ready to dislike it. And I had the fuming thoughts while I'm reading through it. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. And it genuinely changed my mind as I read. I said, this is not dissimilar to action-oriented monsters, but classes.
By Matt Colville,
which we did talk about last episode too. And what I mean by that is it's not just abilities that say for one action or for one bonus action. It is when you do X, do this. So it's introducing more opportunities for your character to do something outside of the traditional bonus action, and reaction. So that's my major bullet points of what I noticed here. So I enjoy the direction it's going, but I do not think it is representative at all of what they're going to do in the future. Maybe for other schools or really, really tightly knit things that they can fit these multi-class subclasses into, I think this is a one-off thing, though.
But along those lines, do you think
there's a Moody.
Yeah, do you think this is telling of what, not exactly the multiple classes kind of thing, but the direction? Having more action-oriented type.
I hope so. That's what I hoped for.
Okay.
Because the original complaints from our friends were the theming. And then I repositioned it and said, hey, about the mechanics. Like, oh no, we just mean it's hard to put in our games from a lore standpoint. I was like, oh, okay. I still think they weren't as jazzed about what they can do. Just talking about one class being flat out better than something that exists in the player's handbook and how that troubles some things. It's the ever-present DLC thing. But I've been chatting a bit. You take it away. I want to hear your thoughts in regards to like what I've said or any new things you've caught before we dive into it.
I like your thoughts. I think you're on a good path. I'm curious on how this will play out in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is necessarily the right way to do multi-class. I mean, it's not really multi-class. Because they also don't even mention, granted, this is just a UA, how this would look as a multi-class.
They address it a little bit.
Well, some say you need to, step into this or step into that. And I guess you could argue it's literally as simple as joining a different college. I don't know. There's definitely some that are stronger if you multi-class into this college just for one level than, have this levels of your other subclass.
You're that kid in college that has like 8 majors and doesn't graduate. That'd be a fun character.
I just don't know if this is the right way to do it. I think it's not terrible. But on that note, let's dive into the first college.
Yes. So, I think before that, we need to talk about the choosing the subclass because there's a bit of mechanics there.
Oh, sure.
So just to get this out of the way so that you're not confused as to like when can I take this and how does it replace, we addressed it in the beginning a little bit, but when you choose a subclass for your character, you instead choose one of these subclass options so long as the subclass is compatible with your class. You can choose the subclass only once, so you can't multi-class onto the same thing multiple times. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. I don't think there was anything else there. For example, when you gain a feature noted as level 6 plus, your character must be 6th level or higher in the class for which the subclass was chosen.
I appreciate them saying that out, but
that's true because you could get to an ability and have multi-classed and not be high enough level to get it. So that says more than you actually think it is.
Sure, but that's how it's always been.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess I just haven't noticed that before.
I don't know. I'm sure that they say that in Player's Handbook, but I guess it's good to mention them.
So Lorehold.
Lorehold. This is like the history major dudes.
Bard, Warlock, and Wizard. Makes sense. Wizard studies shit. I don't know why Warlock's in here. But Bard, it makes sense.
Maybe your patron's really old.
Well, actually, the patron is the college
yeah.
itself. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
I think that's my problem with the lore for Warlocks for this. It doesn't make too much sense.
It depends on your view of the schooling system in general, I guess. I mean, it's kind of like a patron.
It's an overbearing.
It's a toxic relationship that overbears and takes your money and resources, and you kind of get good stuff. not a lot.
I agree with you, yeah.
And you get a little bit of knowledge you can use in the real world, kind of like how
It
shitty your
asks
spell
you
slots are.
things sometimes you don't want to do.
Yeah, precisely. So I have completely forgotten my first opinion about all of these, but they give you some extra spells, which I think is most interested for warlocks and non-wizard subclasses. I don't know, like Speak with the Dead is something that you could only get from, I think there are some subclasses for warlock in particular, but it adds a bunch of new stuff. So it's a really interesting thing, I think, for the most part, is the spells that it adds to your thing and stuff.
Yeah.
Ancient Companion, this is the first thing you get.
Yeah, first actual feature.
Is this the one? This is the one.
It's the thing.
This is the one that people are freaking out about. So you basically get to summon a familiar of sorts that fits into 3 types: healer, sage, or warrior. Very straightforward, right?
Sure.
You can think of these as some sort of person that you knew in history that you're kind of calling forth through your magical abilities.
It's like the anime Fate.
Don't do it.
What do you mean?
Don't bring that. No.
It is.
Now you know what's happened? A bunch of people from the Fate community are coming in here like, huh? Fate? What? Huh?
Oh, they heard.
So I think it's the Beastmaster Ranger that people are like, this is just flat out so much better than this.
It is. I mean, you point out a class that exists, it's better than the Beastmaster Ranger.
So there's a bunch of text here that says it's friendly to you, whatnot, base your clans.
The thing is, it's also similar-ish to the Artificer guy that can have a little dude with him.
Yes, true. So this guy, you are able to just heal by using a first level spell slot to heal 10 times level of the spell slot expanded. So you can scale it up. For Warlock, it's just like, well, there goes my spell slot.
You know, as sad as it is, I applaud Wizards for every time they've made a new companion type class, they've gotten better.
Yeah.
Beastmaster, and then, at later iterations, better. And then you get to Drake Warden, much better. Then you get to, I guess, Artificer technically is companion.
I hope they changed Drake Warden a bit.
And then this, even better.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of modular stuff here. If it's a warrior, it gets more AC, different attacks. Ancient Fortitude reduces the companion to 0 hit points, but it can make a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 5+ damage taken. If it's critical, it doesn't happen. But if it's success, Cannon does not die and drops to 1 hit point. A bunch of interesting things, heals, whatnot. Yeah. But it's got a lot of things to do, and it's fairly strong, and its
extra
stats
body
are good.
On the battlefield. Good.
Yeah.
Always good. Adds to the action economy in your favor.
But it scales.
It does scale. Scaling is always nice.
It goes up with your proficiency bonus, and you get extra stuff at level 6.
Whoa.
So usually when you get a companion, it's kind of like a passive thing, but here you get Lessons of the Past, where each of the healer, sage, and warrior get an additional thing that they can do.
Yeah. Don't
need to get into the nitty gritty of it, but if you're looking for a class that has a companion that grows along with you and gets some pretty interesting abilities, this is it. I mean, to be honest, it's the best summoner class that has ever existed.
Yeah, it's short and long rest. That's nice.
So yeah, short and long rest for warlocks. Thank you, Jesus Christ. And the more echoes, you can kind of echo a damage that happened, a damage type to an enemy that you hit, and make them vulnerable to it during everything until your next turn. So anybody who uses that damage type against that enemy for an entire turn, that monster has vulnerability to it. So it's basically like double damage to a damage type for an entire turn. Seems out of nowhere, but okay.
I mean, so my initial reactions after I read these, up until level 10 at the release, and I'd even add on to level 14. But as cool and interesting as this is, I don't know if I'd ever pick this as a class, just because as strong as it may be, the bard classes, the warlock, I mean, you might disagree with the warlock classes, but the wizard classes, they seem so much more interesting to play.
Well, that's a big thing with the warlock stuff is it feels empty until you add in the other bells and whistles like the invocations and shit.
That's true.
So it's very run of the mill. It is less flavorful.
For example, for the bard, there's no, I mean, there can't be. There's other class in this. There's no inspiration type abilities.
No. It's very much a one size fits all, which I will say to its, what's the word? To its blah negative thing, whatever that phrase is. They are classes, majors that you're in. And these people much like us, you might meet some jock that's taking a math class with some nerd that's taking some math class.
Sure.
They're very, very different, but they're all learning the same thing, and it's a one size fits all. Now, if that doesn't represent our schooling system, I don't know what does.
I think this could be fun for a school Strixhaven one shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a small like 5-session campaign or something.
I mean, do you think the 14th level thing kind of convinces you that it's cool, strong? I don't know.
I mean, again, I think it's still strong, but the problem for me is that, I mean, it is a companion class. It revolves so heavily around that guy. I feel like I'm doing so little, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the 14th level is roll a d6 and subtract it to any saving throw that comes up because you're kind of seeing the future for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Resistance, you rewind time, knitting together injuries as they occur. Resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. And at this level, everything's going to be magic damage. So it's just kind of like...
So in my opinion, it's taken the... I don't know how to say it. Squares unfit in a circle idea, where it's a cool idea that it's trying to pull all these classes together. But to me, individually, all of them seem so much more interesting than playing this class.
Yeah. Oh. It's not that fun. And then all of them are kind of like that.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda.
But getting into that, that's cool. Yeah, that Lorehold's fun.
Yeah.
So Prismari is the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
It's very much the
Druid, Sorcerer, Wizard.
Expressive arts, creativity,
Elemental energy.
masterpieces, yada, yada, yada. No bard. No bard.
You got to wonder why.
I
think maybe it's because it uses elemental energy. Energy meaning from the elements of the forest or from within you or from the stuff that you've learned about. But
the way they flavor it, yes.
Bards are using mostly, I don't know, pursuit of arts. I don't know.
But it says it's the description of Prismari dedicated to the visual and performing arts.
Okay, shit. Yeah, I don't know.
And bolstered, I mean, it says bolstered with the power of the elements. So I guess that's the key thing that they're changing. But I mean, still, I feel like Bards can have a little bit of that.
Do you think they could change the classes that are in it before it's released?
Yeah, they probably could. Now, I'm not the expert when it comes to 5th edition D&D. We are moderately qualified, not experts.
As we say.
I don't know how much the balance of these classes changes. If, for example, I change Prismari and say, yeah, Bard, bro, you can have this class too. Does that break it? I wouldn't think so. But there's got to be a reason why they only pick those 3 and not like toss in a 4th.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it just buffs the action economy, basically. Like once per turn, when a creature you can see hits a target with an attack roll, use your reaction. So it gives more reaction stuff.
That seems like an interesting...
Yeah. I've been saying for ages that we need more reaction shit. I mean, the character I play has so many things I like to do during reactions that I wish I had 2 reactions. You can't do that. So take us through Prismari, I guess, summary of the abilities.
Sure. So the first one you get is creative skills. You get some extra proficiencies. Whoop-de-doo. Second thing you get, also still level 1. You can now dash as a bonus action. That's nice.
Seems weird, but okay.
I mean, you're basically becoming a rogue at that point, I guess. And then you get one of the following effects. They basically change how your steps are. You can either, you just basically do more damage to things as you run by them. That's kind of cool. It can allow for some interesting effects on the battlefield. It can allow you to think about combat differently, like how I can maneuver through these creatures.
Yeah, would be hard in the theater of the mind thing.
It could be a little hard. But that's cool. And you can also use a bonus action in this way a number of times equal to proficiency bonus. So it minorly scales.
And these abilities themselves don't scale, but there are things that add flavor that get more powerful later on specifically.
And I guess, looking at these again, while it is themed around the arts and stuff, there's very little in here that I could be like, yeah, I could see a bard doing that. I think the way they decided to flavor these abilities is different than the way in my mind.
It's very bland.
It's different in the way in my mind how I'd imagine this college to be.
Yeah. So the thing that got me excited about this is we played Commander the other day.
Oh yeah.
It's been a bit. I've been wanting to play
Wasn't
more
the other day, but yeah.
It's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that.
I guess that's
and
the other day, yeah.
Ryan usually plays white black.
Yeah.
Whatever that is called in the combination.
No, yeah, not usually. I like it.
You like it.
Or Zoth. Or Zoth.
But it was an owl warlock lore thing, and I was like, I am in that. That seems cool as shit. Guys? That's Lorehold, or no, it wasn't Lorehold. It's the last one, Silver Quill.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted to say that it seems so damn cool and flavorful there, and here it's just like,
So I'm going to go back to what I just said. I think by them attempting to create this agnostic class. Oh my God.
That's too bright.
I think them attempting to create this agnostic class
There's that
thing,
word.
They have lost. Yeah, take a shot every time we say agnostic.
From this point.
I think they have lost what makes because sometimes we'll read a class and like, this class is not that fun to play.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's flavored well. None of these to me feel flavored well.
And I've got to wonder because I'm almost certain that all the flavor is going to come in the book.
That's probably true.
In the Silver Quill section, in the lore hold question.
There is, I mean, the MTG stuff that I've read for this stuff when I was excited for the set, even though I didn't play it.
Yeah.
Looked cool. It looked interesting. Each college was very unique, very interesting. I mean, the art always is impeccable. So I'm sure, same with the Ravnica book, there's a lot of really cool details in there. So I'm sure it'll come through in the book. But
it definitely
just
will.
looking at the class, not that enticing.
Yeah, I totally imagine that before each of these is going to be, here's all the information about this class, major people that are in it, classes that you might take, and here's the subclass that you are if you're in this school, and they just could not fit it in this thing because it's already 9 pages, which is a chonker of a UA. So yeah, I mean, do you want to keep going through all the abilities of these?
Well, the next one you get is some resistance to a certain damage type, elemental damage type specifically. And then when you cast a spell using a spell slot that deals that shows a damage type, there's some spectacular aura of artistry, which extends 5 feet from you, and stuff happens. While it's active, each creature your choice is resistance to the same damage type. Very situational.
More control type stuff. It's getting late. I'm sorry. I always do this when I'm in meetings and shit.
Well, that's how boring it is. And that's about it. You can change the type of damage every long rest.
Okay.
Favorite expression, you get this at level 10. You hone your talents. You're awesome at what you do now. Once per turn, bring back that turn idea. When you deal damage to at least one target, you gain an additional effect determined by the damage type chosen. So you can pick cold, fire, lightning, similar to the dash that you did previously. And they all do different abilities, all doing 1d6 damage, but then they also either give things extra temporary HP, or you can help or remove reactions from somebody. So it's kind of like a little mini buff or debuff on the battlefield at the same time. And the last one at level 14.
Real quick, can I say this name is terrible?
Impeccable physicality.
How does that fit this at all? It needs to be like expert execution or like impeccable execution.
Yeah, I could see this in like a...
I get physicality is like your expression of movement, but it sounds like, ooh, let's run a marathon or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's weird.
Yeah. Again, the way they flavored this is very odd. You gain proficiency in Dex saving throws if you don't have it already. Unfortunately, if you do, you don't get anything else for that.
There's spellcasters.
True. Additionally, when you make this is druids too, right? They might have some Dex in there. But then whenever you make a Dex save, you treat a D20 roll of a 9 or lower as just a straight 10, which is a rogue ability.
So odd.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's a spellcaster, so it's cool that you've got this flexibility for them to get it. I'm just interested to read the flavor as to like why this is a part of this class.
I think barbarians, clerics, paladins.
Yeah, why? Yeah, why aren't clerics and paladins
Rangers kind of get some sadness looking at this.
Yeah, but it's no different than if it was just like, a sorcerer and a druid, 2 or 3 subclasses,
Yeah, but wizards get like 5.
Wizards are
Warlocks get
the
like
most
3.
used and most powerful class in 5e. So
sorcerers get like 2.
It's on trend, at least, I would like to say. Okay.
Quandrix.
So, Quandrix.
Math
for
boys.
Your source and whizzes. Do you want to do some math? I don't.
If you're super smart, this is your class or your college, I guess.
Yeah, you get some spells like enlarge, reduce by growth, circle, power, pass wall. It's easy, casual, cool stuff. Functions of probability. This makes my brain want to immediately turn off, but you can choose a creature to make a save on a wisdom throw against your spell.
That's nice.
DC. They must roll a d6 and then subtract the number from the next attack it rolls before the start of your next turn. And then once before the start of your next turn, chosen creature can roll a d6 and add the number rolled to an attack roll or saving throw before its choice. The creature can roll the d6 after rolling the d20, but must decide before blah, blah, blah. It's kind of a bardy thing.
It is kind of a bardy thing.
They're not in here.
No, bards don't get any of this.
Velocity shift, you learn to manipulate kinetic formulas, blah, blah, blah. Kind of cool sounding, but it's still
null
math.
equation. That sounds cool too.
It does sound cool. The names for this one are on, but it's math.
Yeah,
It's
the
kinda
last
when
one's
stuff
called
happens.
quantum tunneling. That seemed cooler.
Yeah. What is this one?
Which one?
Occupied space. This one allows you to teleport people who fail your save 30 feet, which is cool. It's for reaction proficiency bonus usage.
This almost feels like the slightly like the the one that was in Wildmount, the Chronomancy wizard one. Similar-ish ideas.
Such a good class.
It's a great class. Great
wanna play that.
spells. Good job, Matthew Mercer. Even though I'm sure you helped, but
Yeah,
a lot of people helped write that too.
it's very true. I'm finally being able to appreciate other classes. I still only want to play Warlock, even though it's boring, but hey, we're getting there. What are you waving at?
Me.
Yeah, we look nice in there. So, null equation, the cool one over there, once per turn immediately after dealing damage to a creature, you can force it to make a con save. When it fails, it's got disadvantage on strength and dex.
Right.
And its weapon attacks deal only half damage. This is basically like, until the start of your next turn, this is basically like making fun of a Jot for being super strong and then like overwhelming them with math and to the point that they're crippled.
Yeah, it reminds me of Ray of Enfeeblement. That's the spell.
Yeah.
Where they do less damage on stuff.
It's just so funny to me. It's like, just imagine the woman with the the numbers and stuff floating around her.
Right.
Just like, they try to whack, and it's just like a
It's
wet
a good
noodle.
meme.
It is a good meme. It's one you finally know. Ryan doesn't know memes.
I know that Star Wars meme is going around everywhere. You haven't seen this one
No.
from the Clone Wars?
I'm taking care of cats.
Everyone else out there knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about.
He's behind.
Do you know
but-
quantum tunneling?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. It's
about mathematics and
It is
stuff.
about mathematics. So, you gain resistance. A lot of just gaining resistance at 14th level, which is very interesting. Bludgeoning, piercing,
So you
slashing.
can move through creatures.
Is that magical? Does it count? Is magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing an
Yes.
entirely
Yeah,
different thing?
No. It means all. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I don't like this ability at all.
You don't like being able to walk through things?
For a 14th level thing when there's a spell that can do that?
Again, so that's the problem with this, is it's because it's trying to be buzzword agnostic. The highest level they chose is 14. A lot of these classes get really cool last ditch things, but these don't really.
No, this is literally just you get kind of an amorphous form where you can go through stuff,
Again,
and that's it. There's nothing else
This is
to
why
it.
I think nobody will. Okay, there's probably some jackass out there that's going to prove me wrong, but I don't think anyone's going to choose any of these classes just for the fun of it. Well, maybe just for the fun of it, because they want to make a fun, like, good character. They're going to pick these because they're either playing in a Strixhaven campaign, one shot, whatever, or they want to be from a college. I mean, honestly, if you're from a college, a magic college, and you're a wizard, whatever, there are much better subclasses out there for you.
I mean, five
There's one in
five uses of
Xanathar's,
disadvantage on strength and dex,
Tasha's.
which is just kind of not.
There was one really good one in Tasha's that would fit a college individual much better than this.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is definitely one of the weakest ones. Math. I don't know. You like math? Silver Quill. Let's go. Woo! This is fun.
Really? You like this one?
I like it a lot. So, I mean, it's a Warlock one. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no extra spells.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe because their abilities are more fun and better.
I don't know. It's just weird. So it's the
He
power of
says
words,
no.
which is spells. The spells are a lot of spells
Yeah,
are through words.
yeah,
Give us a
so
lot of
quills.
semantic spells or
And this
whatever.
one is a bard
Cool.
one.
Is bard, warlock, and wizard. Just like I think the first one. I don't know. So
Yeah,
this is all about like talking and shit and whatnot. I just
the
went the
magic
last
of
one,
words.
so you go ahead.
Encouraging speeches, uplifting allies.
Tell us about Eloquent
gives a
Apprentice.
shit?
I don't know. You get Flame and Vicious Mockery. You can pick those as a cantrip to learn and blah, blah, blah.
Nice, man.
Persuasion, Deception, Performance, blah, 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 Insight.
Yeah.
Silvery Barbs. What is that?
Silvery bards.
Barbs.
Yeah, bards. Yeah.
No.
What's up?
Go ahead.
So you invoke words with magic and stuff. Again, sounds similar to other bard subclasses that are probably better than this.
Yes.
But
you're kind of shitting on it now.
But
Ooh.
immediately after a creature you can see within 60 feet of you succeeds on an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw. This is also, I don't know if I mentioned this, first level ability.
Mm-hmm.
You can use your reaction to demoralize the creature. That is not. What are you laughing about?
I just think it's hilarious.
Demoralizing?
Hey, you suck.
Bitch.
Roll a d20 and take the lower roll on the thing that you just did. It's like,
yeah.
damn, just throwing sick burns, man.
Basically gives someone the disadvantage, yeah.
Yeah. No, there's more to it.
It re-rolls the d20 and must use the lower roll. If the attack roll, ability check, or saving throw then fails, you can choose a different creature you can see within 60 feet of you. You can choose yourself. That creature is empowered and can re-roll one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. So if they fail it, then you get to do more fun things.
It's cool.
Can be empowered by one of these.
Once your creature fails an ability roll, check saving throw, reroll. But this feature you can use it. Okay, blah blah blah. Short until a long rest. Warlock abilities. We loved seeing that word. Let's go.
It's nice. It's giving more reactions. Strong, man.
I have a lot of reactions that I'm trying to do, man. Inky Shroud.
You got to think about which reactions you want. Yeah, so Inky Shroud's the next one, which is weird to say.
Don't be a tiefling.
So you get the Darkness spell. It's added to your spell class, and if you can add it to your spell book, then you can. Then you cast spell without spending a spell slot.
Warlocks like that.
Yeah, and you can't do so again until you finish a long rest.
Warlocks don't like that, but that makes sense.
Sorry, Warlocks. When you cast a spell in this way, you can see through the darkness. Sounds like one of my players in my campaign.
I wonder who that is.
Oh, they call Inky Shroud because we make fun of her as being the
squid.
The squid or the octopus. Yeah.
Octopus.
When a creature you can see starts its turn in the darkness, you can deal 2d10 psychic damage.
This does not scale ever at all.
No.
Ever.
You can also cast it normally if you want. You can use your spell.
But like, what a stupid ability. I mean, 2d10, cool. I mean, it's free damage, but like that is not going to be useful at all after this level. I mean, it's still chip damage, man. It's chip damage. You know me. I just get upset at non-scaling abilities.
Sometimes you got to just do a little bit of chippy, especially if someone's in there for a long time.
Yeah.
You can hold a person in there. You can grapple somebody in there. Okay,
you know what? No. It just happens. It just happens.
It just happens.
So there's no failing or saving on it. It's just, okay.
You can just take the big bad guy, push him in for a second.
Everybody's got Sentinel and Polearm Master, and they just stand in a circle around him, and he can't get out.
Or you cast it upon yourself and just walk into everybody. And they get out of it, you walk after them. Just blew Braxton's mind.
Polearm Master, Sentinel, get this thing. Let's go. Actually,
so it's got some potential, man. It's got some potential.
I didn't think about that. Okay. All right. Cool.
So next one being the infusion of. See, I think I like this class the best so far because it's the best one. It's not building on one thing. It's adding things and building upon itself, which I think makes a good subclass. Just like
the lifestyle.
Because the problem is if you build so much on one thing, if that one thing sucks or that one thing fails in battle or in the campaign for whatever reason, your whole subclass is all for naught.
You big doo-doo.
So next one is Infusion of Eloquence at level 10. When you cast a spell that deals damage, which are lots of spells, you can invoke additional words of power to change the spell's damage to the type of your choice, either psychic or radiant. Any creature damaged by the spell takes extra damage, equal to your proficiency bonus, and so it does scale. Has its emotions swayed with despair. So you can either make them frightened or charmed.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, I will.
When you cast a spell that deals damage,
which is a lot of spells.
There is no once per turn on this anywhere, right?
Yeah, you just when you cast one, yeah.
And which classes can play this one?
Warlock, Wizard, Bard.
Wizard can get Magic Missile, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Magic Missile and Eldritch Blast are what we're thinking about here.
Okay.
You get 3 blasts of Eldritch Blast at level 11, 3 instances against getting a creature frightened of you until the start of your next turn, 3 hold targets that just get it. It's your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, so there's a cap.
There's a cap, so you can do it about 5 times, 4 times
if you're high enough level.
But an Eldritch Blast with Agonizing Blast that already is also adding your proficiency bonus. So whatever proficiency bonus is, so like 3 plus 5 from your Agonizing Blast, and it now frightens on each beam that hits or makes them charmed.
But I think if you charm them and you hit them again, then they're uncharmed.
We'll just hit a different creature. Charm 3 things. You can target different.
You can do that. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
You can do a shitload of damage and charm something.
Yeah.
Or frighten them. You've seen how good frighten is when I use it now.
Frighten is pretty strong. Yeah.
Woo! And with that last thing that you just told me about, now the only thing that makes me sad is I realize that I can't also play Hexblade.
No, that's a different class.
Yeah. So Warlock goes back to being sucky.
Or no. Hexblade 10 level. No,
you can't.
That's right. They're both Warlocks. You can do a fighter of some sort 10 levels and then do Warlock of this 10 levels.
Yeah. Or you just take back to the chain.
If you're doing this, you probably shouldn't do Warlock anyway.
If you get Magic Missile, yes.
Or the Agonizing Blast, I guess you're saying. Regardless, okay, next one.
You see what I'm talking about? I got so excited when I
There's
saw
some
that.
potential in these classes.
Ooh, baby.
Well, in this class,
I got so excited with this when I saw Word of Power, and then I got less excited.
Word of Power. So it makes you think of like Word of Recall, which is a mediocre spell, or Power Word Kill.
That's what I was thinking.
Those
this
are
is gonna be
power
like.
words. This is just a Word of Power.
Very different, especially in the College of
Words.
Silver Quill.
Yeah.
It matters.
So you invoke a Word of Power, not power words. This is it. This is your pinnacle. This is your thesis.
Yes, literally.
One word. That's it.
I mean, if you think about it, it takes not a lot of skill to write a long story, but to be able to summarize everything in one word so that people just understand.
But this is only level 14. So I guess their way of saying you graduate at level 14.
Yeah. You're an adult. You get to go out there and get the rest of your levels and not get anything else. Because it's all about you.
Think about it. This college, they're popping. Because if you think that a peasant out there is like CR 8th or something, whatever.
Oh, these guys are strong
guys
as fuck.
God,
they're shitting out strong people, dude.
Shitting people out.
But maybe not a lot of people graduate.
Obviously, Brax. And then going into what you can actually do with this word.
Yeah.
Right? Deadly Despair, when the target of your silvery barbs, which was the
Who's Barb, man? We've been talking about him a lot.
silvery bard, yeah. Which was the God, I can't remember what that one was.
Isn't it?
That's the one you suck ability. When they fail that attack roll, ability check, or saving them because of your reroll, you invoke a word of despair to give the target vulnerability to one damage type of your choice. So start of your next turn. So you pick one that maybe one of your friends are good at, and they go to town on.
See, I was like, ooh, man, if I could also be Hexblade in this. Oh.
True.
Or you could do force damage and do your Eldritch Blast and, fear three things.
Start of your next turn.
Oh.
So you can't do it. Then we also got Selfless Invocation. I guess you could use your reaction if they run away and you can hit them with your something.
I'm not thinking right now, so.
When a creature you can see within 60 feet of you takes damage, you can invoke a Word of Power using a reaction. So I imagine this will probably happen more often.
Yeah.
It depends. You can invoke a Word of Power using a reaction to grant the creature resistance to that damage, so to protect your friends. And you taking a psychic damage equal to that damage.
This is literally terrible. This is one of the worst things on the sheet.
Well, you better hope you have a lot of HP.
Yeah, well,
Or you're not
spellcaster,
getting hit. Or you're not getting hit a lot. Maybe you're in the back lines.
I guess, but like,
Can you imagine taking a hit from your friend?
I get the flavor that they did, selfless invocation, but like, why keep the damage the same?
I feel like you should take the...
It basically splits damage between two people.
Kinda, yeah.
Why? Why not just make it half damage? Why do I need to take damage?
First of all, you're already taking the half damage with the resistance.
Yeah, but why does the other half need to come to me? I don't get it.
Because you're...
Just, this is a terrible ability.
Because
What? When I get an ability, I want it to reduce the amount of damage that's taken, not the same amount of damage to my whole party. The party is still taking the same amount of damage. It's just splitting it. It's not good.
Because you're...
It's not good. You can tell me that it is good in the comments. Maybe
there's other subclasses that you should probably take that have better 14th levels.
Yeah, just stop at 10th level on this one.
Yeah.
You have that option.
The multi-class.
Yeah.
Just drop out of college.
That's kind of cute. I like that. Yeah.
Last one.
Okay.
Witherbloom. My favorite lore-wise, just because it's cool.
All right. Warlocks get it, so I'm fine.
Druids and he's down with it. This is like the
Warlocks get Revivify? Woo!
This is... I mean, that's not... Revivify's not great.
Shut up.
Let me just get the thing it says. Yeah, so it's alchemy, life and death, necromancy kind of stuff. Juicy, cool. Got lots of hags and witches and weird things in here. So the druids and warlocks can get it. First thing are the Witherbloom spells. Like he said, there's Revivify and Anti-Life Shell and Blight and Mass Cure Wounds and that stuff.
Nice stuff.
Yeah.
Nice things.
I wouldn't see a warlock ever using any of these.
Genie Warlock. Genie Warlock is support.
No, I mean like these spells. Would you as a warlock ever use these spells?
If I was a support Warlock. Yeah, all the time.
So you'd use one of your 5th level spell slots to cast.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing as using my 5th level spell slot to take damage or deal damage. It's just doing the opposite. You know? You're an off healer warlock.
But I don't know if that's strong.
Warlocks aren't strong.
So the next ability is Essence Tap. As a bonus action, you draw on a reservoir of life essence to empower yourself for a whole minute. Long time.
That's good.
Yeah, so as a bonus action. Bonus actions are nice.
Yeah.
For duration, you gain one of the following benefits. Benefits. Overgrowth. When you choose this benefit as a bonus action on subsequent turns, not on this turn that you do this because you have to use your bonus action to do it. You can expend and roll one hit die. That's cool. Other things to use your hit die on.
Mm-hmm.
You regain a number of hit points equal to the number. Okay. So it's not really another use of hit die. It's the exact. You're just using
your hit die.
You're just using your hit die at this point.
Nice.
Or the other option is Withering Strike. When you deal damage, you can change the damage type to necrotic, and you ignore resistance to necrotic damage. This is level 1, okay, man?
Just don't understand.
It's level 1. The next one, level 6.
Well, you know what?
What's up?
No, Withering Strike makes it to whatever you're hitting will not resist your hit.
This is
unless
true?
they're immune.
Yeah, but
this is guaranteed full damage unless they're immune.
Guaranteed full damage.
So,
yes.
okay, you know what? There's something there.
That is something. The next one, this is when we get into like the alchemy side of stuff. You can create things. You have a pot or a cauldron. You can use your herbalism kit, whatever you want. You can create some brews. So it's kind of similar to
Dude, this gotta be popular at parties.
Yeah, you would.
Pots and brews? Sorry, that's a bad joke.
It's kind of similar to the alchemist artificer class. But
I've read that.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Have I?
I feel like we did. It was in it would have been in Tasha's.
I remember that.
It was a while ago. This is very similar. I'd say the only difference is a little bit in the wording. I can't remember exactly what it was right now off the top of my head, but it's there, I promise you. It was basically saying it takes an action to give it to somebody, I believe.
Yeah.
The alchemist one was kind of up in the air. Maybe people were curious about that one. But allows you to bolster and help your people out. Next one being Witherbloom Adept. You become more in tune with the life force. And you can deal necrotic damage. When you deal necrotic damage, I'm sorry. Or restore hit points using a spell. One target of the spell takes additional damage or regains additional hit points equal to your proficiency bonus.
So, thinking about the first thing, you're going to deal max necrotic damage unless it's immune. So you're always going to restore the max amount of hit points without resistance. So, I mean, hey, well, there you go. That's their way of saying this class is not useless if you're playing in a heavily undead campaign until they get immunity.
So you can play this in your Ravenloft campaigns.
Yeah, there's a lot of immunities there. But I like what they're thinking because a lot of the times there's a class that we're like, okay, well, this is useless in X setting because there's going to be a lot of X, Y, or Z damage type of resistances. So I like the thought. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Watsy, I appreciate it.
Last one being Withering Vortex, which sounds cool. When you cast a spell using a spell slot that deals necrotic damage to any number of creatures that aren't undead, or constructs, choose one of the creatures that took damage. You drain an amount of life energy equal to the half damage dealt to the chosen creature. One creature other than yourself that you can see within 30 feet gains that HP. That's kind of cool.
But why other than
you
yourself?
suck the life force and give it to someone else.
Why?
I like to think of it like, I can't remember, I think this was from, God, I want to say Avatar, but I might be wrong, where you like take the lightning in one end and then you shoot it out the other. Is that Avatar? But like, let me act it out. Ready, everybody?
Like lightning? Yeah, that's lightning.
Yeah.
Lightning bending.
So it's like that, but with life force. So you suck it on one end and shoot it out the other.
What I want to say, how many spell slots do druids get?
A lot.
How many spell slots do warlocks get?
Not many.
How often are you going to use your maximum thing in this class? You basically don't have a subclass final ability if you're a warlock.
Well, you do necrotic damage,
well,
right?
14th, I guess you've got 3. No, yeah, you get necrotic damage, but you can use this 3 times. And it's competing with your other spells.
No. Whenever you cast a spell using a spell slot that deals necrotic damage, if you're dealing necrotic damage, you get to use it.
Do we have a spell that deals necrotic damage?
Yeah. Vampiric Touch does. Blight does, I think. That's it. But I'm
Toll
sure
the Dead?
Toll the Dead. You
spell slot.
Do you have that? Warlocks get that?
Sometimes.
Oh, that's cantrip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't.
That won't work.
That doesn't count.
Okay, well, we've read through everything here.
It's got some cool. It's got
Ryan, 2021. The Dungo Bungo.
So, your final thoughts on this?
Okay.
Hat's coming off of this part.
Those are expensive. I'm just gonna set those down nicely. So, there's like 2 or 3 clear stages of my experience with this. Okay. It was, man, my friends hate it. I'm excited to hate it too and get on the bandwagon, jump in. Oh, these are kind of cool because it improves. There's Junji Ito. It improves the action economy. It allows me to do more things that aren't just actions and reactions and bonus actions.
Not too many, but there's
not too many, but it's better than what they've done before. Now I've read it again and I'm just kind of like, yeah. And you want to know why I think they suck? Because Warlock are in some of them. So they just said we have to make this class suck. Okay, that's not my real thought on it. I appreciate the direction they're going and they're trying a lot of new types of features to subclasses. It's not just use your action to do some damage.
Right.
You know? So I enjoy it, but I do not want homogenous spell subclasses to. I burped because I hated that so much. I don't want them to become a normal thing.
At least not in this way.
No. And Kenneth made the point of, there were guilds in...
Who's played Salty in the Dungeon Chronicles?
The Dungo Bungo Chronicles. He said that there are other faction-esque things where they could have done these homogenous subclasses. Hopefully you've taken 3 shots at this point. So why now? Why did this happen at this point? And, I tried to say to him the thing I said in the beginning. I think in a school setting, it makes a lot of sense because a lot of people are in one college and they're all doing the same thing. So obviously they're going to be like, we can't make all sorcerers be in this one college because WotC, I think, ties their hands with Magic the Gathering, as some cards have multiple sorcerers or warlock within it in the lore. So they literally could not do that.
I mean, I also, granted, I haven't checked the cards, so I don't know if you're correct with that statement.
Me neither.
But I think otherwise it would have just been a book of subclasses for wizards. And that would have been a problem.
Yeah, for me it would have, but wizards would have been happy.
I still think people would be excited to have 5 more subclasses for wizards.
No. So, I mean, it's odd. And you made the point before, like, why are they releasing this after the set comes out? And I made
after the set.
Yeah.
This is coming out in November, I want to say.
Right. So I made the point that maybe they're going for a time coverage thing. So whenever Strixhaven came out, people are getting interested in that. It's kind of Harry Potter-like, so maybe they're already pulling people in. It exists. Maybe people have it fondly in their brain and it keeps going on. And now people are like, ooh, Strixhaven for D&D. And they go back into Magic and they're like, ooh, we want to look at 2 sets, but there's a new set out right now. So we're going to get both cards for both sets.
Well, you missed a very crucial in between, which I don't know if we've talked about yet. I think we probably did last time. There's going to be a D&D MTG set that's releasing next month. Or no. Yes.
Yeah.
Or
so
this
doing
month.
flip-a-flop.
It's coming out real soon. It's going to be Forgotten Realms based. Tasha's Hideous Laughter card I saw got released. It's kind of cool, whatever. But, so, Braxton, you mentioned this previously, at least to me, that they could do the Strixhaven thing, do D&D, and then people that are playing Magic go, oh, I haven't heard of Dungeons & Dragons in 15 years. Say, hey, let's go play D&D. Oh, there's a Strixhaven book that's coming out soon. Huh, I know the Strixhaven lore. Let's start there.
It's a big web of, oh, hey. Piece of candy.
Because otherwise, I don't think Strixhaven ever would be a great choice for a setting book for WotC.
Setting, no. But
I mean, it's cool, sure.
A Candlekeep style thing? Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But should that be a priority of theirs? No. I think there's other books that they probably should be making instead.
Yeah. I haven't been stoked about a book in a while. I think I say this every time, but we'll see what goes on with the Carnival style one, the Feywild one.
Yes, so I'm gonna say this now. I was gonna say this for the news segment, but hey, don't read the surprise. He's looking at my notes.
Well, he changed the page and I see Twitter. I'm gonna look at it.
Hey man.
It says
so.
All right.
So what's this guy's name? So he's the head of Dungeons and Dragons. He doesn't have his name on here. I'm sorry. I don't know your full name. But he's on Twitter and he's the head of Dungeons and Dragons. I should know this, right? But he runs it all.
Not Jeremy Crawford?
No, Jeremy Crawford's head of like game design or something. This guy is
important.
Like the head dude of D&D.
He's the CEO.
Yeah. So he said, making a post, he was talking about how a lot of people were asking him questions and stuff. we theorized this last time. Are these the only 2 books left for D&D this year? This is not the case. There will be another book. He says that the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which I did not know about this, makes me a little more excited. Written and directed, I assume, by Christopher Perkins. And I like Chris Perkins. He made Curse of Strahd. Granted, he just kind of not really copied it, but he took the idea from the old Ravenloft stuff.
Right.
But he wrote Curse of Strahd. He wrote some interesting stuff in Candlekeep. So he's a talented author. He did Activision's
I don't want to hear Activision. That's a bad word.
No, Acquisitions Incorporated.
Okay.
A live play. He stepped down from that recently, but he makes great stuff. So it makes me a little more excited for Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Second thing, Strixhaven. He mentioned that as well. There's a unannounced, what's his name? I want to make sure I get it right here. James Wyatt, who's made some really interesting stuff. He's been working at D&D and MTG for a while. Will be releasing between those 2 books. That's all they say. There's another book that is an unannounced book by, what did I say his name was again?
It mostly excites me and worries me.
James
Do you
Wyatt.
think we've seen anything with UA? Is it the dragon stuff?
Could be. Since James Wyatt's behind it, I imagine it's...
Kenneth mentioned it. It's, fuck. Man, if he was listening right now, there's a supplement on dragons. It's called Drake something. I don't know, but
Drake something.
We'll have to ask him again. I'm so sorry. If he was here.
You're talking about Dragonlance, are you? That's a setting, yeah. I'd be surprised if it's a setting Dragonlance book. It could be. Just because there's already another setting book coming this year.
Yeah. Okay.
So, or it could be Adventure, I guess, in Dragonlance.
Yeah.
I'm holding out for the fact that it could be a Planescape book. You don't think so?
You let it go.
No, man. Okay. I'm gonna double check here and see what James Wyatt else has worked on. I should check this out beforehand. James, we're gonna do this live.
Well, I remember you saying the other day that, there's a release for the Feywild, the Witch of the whatever, and what we're covering today. Mm-hmm. You were like, well, was there just nothing in between? And you were kind of worried about that.
I was.
So here you go.
I didn't want there to be just 2 more books. So I'm excited. Let me see what else he has worked on here. He has worked on a lot of text for MTG. So that's cool. I like the flavored text. Okay. See, this makes me more excited, dude. Oh my God. Okay. I know I'm just reading stuff and freaking out.
Yes, I can't.
But so he has released a series of free PDFs.
This won't be free, so get less excited.
Called Plane Shift. And they connect and adapt MTG settings for D&D. So Amonkhet, Dominaria, Innistrad, Ixalan, Kaladesh, Zendikar so he did those. It's stuff he just did for fun. Just as, like a...
Can I ruin this for you?
What, man?
It's going to not be Planescape. Or
hang on.
It's going to be, here's some more ways to weave Magic the Gathering into D&D 5e.
You're probably correct, but he did help write he was lead designer on the Ravnica book. Okay. Which is cool, but right?
Ravnica.
That was his Plane Shift Ravnica book. This makes me confused.
It's going to be Magic the Gathering.
No, this makes me weird. Really, well...
Ryan, it's going to be Magic the Gathering Planescape. Oh, he knows.
It better not be a Magic the Gathering Planescape. That would suck.
That would suck.
But, actually, then I might get an Innistrad release of D&D. I might be okay with that.
That would be cool.
But, anyway, as I'm trying to spit out, he also helped write the Theros book. So why is he not helping write the Strixhaven book? Probably because it's a setting he doesn't care about.
Yeah, or he just doesn't have the resume for it. He's more about worlds, not individual things.
Strixhaven technically is a world of itself.
Yeah, but it's how much outside of the school is it going to be? Do you think?
I don't know.
We're not writing it. We'll know in a couple of weeks.
I think because he probably doesn't care about Strixhaven because all the settings he's written about are the big ones from the past: Kaladesh, Zendikar, Dominaria, Innistrad, Amonkhet.
It is almost certainly going to be something Magic the Gathering based.
But he was also one of the authors on Ravenloft's book. So I mean, the jury's still out. Second
Ravenloft thing.
The jury is still out. Is all I'm saying.
I don't know. I think there's one guy out there saying, "Hey, maybe it might be not Magic the Gathering." We'll see.
The fact that he's written on so much planar stuff.
Planar stuff for Magic the Gathering.
I know, but still planar stuff.
I will be happy if it is not Magic the Gathering
I'm
for both
curious,
you and me.
I'm curious when we're gonna get this announced. Because the other ones...
Maybe at the live stream. I don't know.
Possibly.
Probably
but
not.
they said in that Twitter post that I read before that the reason they announced those early is because they were doing stuff, and you'll learn more about it here. They didn't mention when or if this one will be announced. And both of those are, I can't remember. One was in November. The other one was like 2 months before that, or 3 months. I don't remember. Something like that.
I don't know.
So they're going to have to just squeezing in a bunch of stuff at the end of the year. That's kind of weird.
I couldn't tell you why.
It's a COVID thing. They just haven't had time to work on it in person.
Maybe, yeah. A lot of stuff got delayed, and now they're finally able to get it out. We did have a drought of UA for a bit, and then it was just like, hey, play test our stuff and look at it and make sure it's okay. Thank you.
So last thing before we end, because I know we're kind of going long here.
Are we? I don't know.
What
do you guys say?
It feels like we've been talking for a while.
I don't know. Probably like an hour or 20.
That's long. So what I wanted to say is... what were we talking? We were talking about...
Did you forget? Oh, no. It's not just me this time. Oh, my God. Magic the Gathering Planescape, Planesworld stuff, books releasing. Ryan. That's... No, you can't. You built it up so much.
It's probably not that important.
No. Oh, my God. That's my job. Ryan.
Dude, I have no idea where it went.
Was it about books? Was it about releases?
Something.
They're not releasing that many things right now.
Okay. Last thing.
Go. I've forgotten.
So help me out here. Oh. I'm sitting back. I got it. I'm sitting back here. I'm putting up the computer. I don't need to look anything else up. So the stuff that released 2021 for D&D.
Yeah.
Ravenloft. Anything else before Ravenloft? I can't remember. Maybe I should have looked this up.
I mean, there was Rime of the Frost Maiden.
That wasn't 2021. It was last year.
What?
So was Ravenloft the only thing released this year?
What has been this year, dude? He's got to look it up.
Shit. Just said I wasn't going to look at anything.
It's been a lot of Unearthed Arcana stuff.
All right, There's
got to be something.
Books. I feel like we're forgetting something.
I mean, I most certainly am. I usually don't remember all these things. It's looking up right now. So we've got...
okay, here we are. Campaign guides, Ravenloft.
Strahd revamp.
Candlekeep. That was after, I believe. Yeah, so it's just been those two.
Strahd revamp.
Oh, that doesn't count.
It was released.
I mean, that's the same. It's the same thing, though.
It's not. It's a different thing.
I mean, it is, but it isn't, right?
Still got released.
So it's been Candlekeep and Ravenloft.
Okay.
And then we got 3 more, so 5 total books of this year. That seems about on par. It just feels like it's all being shoved to the end for some reason.
It is.
I mean, you're not wrong. It is all kind of getting shoved to the end.
We got a lot of content for episodes.
Oh, so September and November. What months are in between those?
October.
Just October?
Yeah.
So that means the other book is coming out in October.
Careful there, bud. You can break your table.
Yeah.
Yeah, does that make you hyped?
So every month, oh my God. So 3 months, 3 books at the end of this year, dude. They better be banging books.
Of our 3 to 4 episodes per month, each one of them is going to be on a book.
A big old review. That's going to be fun.
Oh, well, I mean, next week we got something cut out for us.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man. We were planning on doing it today.
Yes.
But this got released.
We literally did mention that we were going to do it.
But this is okay because Pathfinder does stuff that's like this.
Yeah.
They have multi-class type of abilities and stuff. So it's kind of an interesting crossover.
Yeah.
Or segue, I should say.
Speaking of segues.
Thanks for listening.
If you like how cool I am, and you want to talk to us about all the things that we got incorrect before, like those one people that commented that one time on the YouTube video. That was really fun. I talked to you guys, and I hearted your comment. It was a good time. On social media, at Dungeon Crawl Pod, if you want to talk to us on Twitter or Instagram, usually...
so generic.
What?
No, I know you're talking about an actual comment, but if I didn't, I'd be like, that guy's just making up a random comment.
No, go back. It was on the Overgear
No, I know
episode.
it exists. Yeah. Just sounded like...
Nothing's generic with me in classes.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay, every week I do clips from this Maybe we'll have video at some point. I'll make it really difficult to do. And from our live play, The Dungeon Chronicles, which usually happens every other Monday. And this week that this episode comes out is when we would have streamed.
Yeah, you missed it.
You did miss it. So I'm sorry. So get back on that and jump onto our YouTube at The Dungeon Crawl Podcast and watch the VOD. It'll be out this week as well on a Thursday. I don't know when you're listening to this, so I'm just keeping things vague because Brian will get upset at me sometime. He won't get upset at me. He'll just be like, dude, they don't know. Is there anything else I mentioned? Discord. In the Discord, we talk and chat and stuff. And there was a one shot that we just ran, or at least one of our good friends, Dark Champion, in the Discord ran.
Shout out.
I think it went good. I talked to him about it. One person played, I think, a paladin and kind of broke the game. So if you want to, also break some DMs, games, and hearts so that they become stronger in the future, jump in there. It's in the link tree in whatever description of whatever you're listening on right now. That's it. Yes. Oh, the Twitch is Dungeon Crawl Network.
Yeah, twitch.tv/Dungeon Crawl Network. So I did just double check. Most years, I'd say it's around 4 books released. So we're actually getting a bonus book this year.
Bonus book.
Yeah, last year was only 3, but I mean, that was a weird year. Can't really fault them for that one.
It happens.
So last thing, guys, before we end today's episode, I just wanna thank you all. I want to thank every single person out there for following us on Twitter, sending us tweets, sending us emails,
right.
hopping into Discord, all that stuff.
I'll be real, I haven't done much of that, so you should kind of get on it.
What the hell, man?
No, we got Squid. Take Squid's example.
Great, yeah, we appreciate you, Squid.
This is cool, Bryce.
But there are some other people out there that have tweeted at us and stuff, and I appreciate you. It doesn't mean a lot. But there is somebody who hasn't noticed us yet. And you know what? If he had, I feel like we could get our inputs and get involved into this weird release that happens every so often. Oh, yeah, take off the glasses. We're getting serious.
I don't know what he's talking about.
So, as you know, what we cover every so often on this podcast, and there was a series, I want to say maybe 2 years ago. No, we haven't been doing the podcast that long.
Not yet.
Coming up. But I want to say 2019, where we did like Unearthed Arcana after Unearthed Arcana after Unearthed Arcana after Unearthed Arcana.
I was walking home on the side of a Target, and we were like, we're just going to do Unearthed Arcana, right? We're going to catch up to all of them? Yeah, sure.
So as cool as Unearthed Arcana is, imagine if there was a Dungeon Crawl Arcana. And that'd be cool.
Sure.
But the guy that writes a lot of these, and at least works on them, is a guy named Jeremy Crawford.
What the fuck? So
imagine if we got to meet this guy, Jeremy Crawford. And in one of these Unearthed Arcanas that we just covered today, crazy enough, but I was thinking about this in the shower. I took a shower earlier.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. I was at the zoo, so I was pretty wet and stinky. So shower thought. Sorry, I was thinking about my stench. Shower thought. If Jeremy Crawford knew about us and made a Dungeon Crawl Kana, or maybe we invited him on Dungeon Crawl Kana.
Yeah, in our small room over here.
Yeah.
Or Zoom.
Poor guy. Yeah, Zoom. But imagine if in this Unearthed Arcana, Dungeon Crawl Kana, Jeremy Crawford told you all that this is, first of all, playtest content, but second of all, to go to Apple Podcasts and rate us 5 stars on iTunes, because I keep saying iTunes, but really it's still, they've rebranded to Apple Podcasts. Keep going. To rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, it really helps us out a lot, shoots us up in the discoverability. And I imagine it helps people find us.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys come from. Yeah, direct to the search tracker most of the time.
Yeah, I'd be very curious if you guys found us through whatever service you found us on. Please hop in our Discord, hop in our Twitter, whatever, and say, hey, this is where you found us from. Because I'm very curious. It's very interesting to see where people find things from.
You know what else you need to tell us about, too? I should have mentioned before. And I realized this, and I don't think we've mentioned this on an episode yet, but not only is it our 100th episode that will be released
in 6 more episodes, I want to say 7 maybe.
This is 93.
Yeah, so 7 more episodes.
7 more episodes. So 7 weeks from the day that this is out, if that's how the math works.
Something like that.
Whenever episode 100 comes out, 2 days before that, the Sunday before, or 3 or whatever it is also our 2-year anniversary. So not only is it our 100th episode, but it's our 2nd year doing this. If you do the math, we've missed 4 episodes. I know. Thank you for the break.
I actually feel like we missed more, but I think you're right.
2 years, 50, 100 episodes. Should be 50. Should be 104 episodes.
It feels like more, but yeah,
Hey,
you're right.
So what I want to say now is even more so. We're gonna do some sort of Q&A thing where we talk about shit, do
Waffle.
whatever, a waffle, and we want to make it fun. Maybe we also stream it. I don't know.
It'll be fun.
Jump in. People can chat with us. We'll see what we do. We don't do live stream stuff on this, but even more so now. Jump in on those socials we mentioned a moment ago. Send us questions. Jump at the Discord. We'll compile things. There might be a surprise at the end of it. We might do a giveaway.
Whoa.
What would you be interested in? I've thought about maybe your favorite dice on like Etsy or something, like the nice stone ones, maybe some miniatures. I don't know.
Maybe a dice signed by us.
That would change the weighting of it, but give us suggestions. So if there's somebody out here who like is listening to this for the first time, you found us on the directory, just be like, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on these guys and I'm just going to give them a question and a suggestion because it's their second year and 100th episode.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
How many podcasts make it that long?
No. I think part of it's just because we're also good friends, so
True.
We do that. And, we've got the sunk cost fallacy. We just spent all this money on the camera and these microphones.
Might as well, right? Might as well continue.
It's a heartfelt message from me. Do it.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week for Pathfinder 2nd Edition Deep Dive. I have not really touched much Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I've looked a lot in Pathfinder 1, so it's going to be kind of a refreshment for me. His first time even looking at Pathfinder.
First time. The only things I've heard of what Kenneth tells me because he's got no patience.
Oh, yeah. So you'll be looking at more of the player side. I'll be looking at kind of mainly the DM side, but also player side as well. Kind of getting a little idea. I'm also going to slightly look into some Adventure Pass stuff. Not, absorb it all, but just see where it's at. Because I love the Adventure Pass from 1st edition, so I hope they keep that same quality.
There's no Warlock in the base stuff. So already we're off on a bad foot.
But their classes are, different. So we'll cover that.
If there's Cthulhu stuff, I'm down.
Well, there's a shout out to the Pathfinder 1st edition Adventure Path called Strange Aeons.
That's where I want to go.
Cream of the crop stuff. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you like us in high quality, high definition. We probably look really hot today.
And as always,
he's Braxton.
Oh, fuck. What? We've never done that the other way. Ever. And he's Ryan.
There was a pause. I was just,
fine.
ad-libbing. Try it again. You go for it.
No, it's done. It's done. Thanks for crawling with us.
Yeah.
Crawling, falling, rolling through 2021.
The year of the crawl, baby.
The year of the dungeon.
Damn it.
It's okay. If we're on a mess, we're rolling down the hill. It's fine. We'll pick it back up.
Chronicles sucks this year, and the crawl will take off. So we'll see.
It's
a year of something.
Chronicles had a really good episode come out.
It did.
Last week.
It really did.
So
go check it out.
Not too much content yet. Get in now before it's critical role level of content, and it takes too long.
They are shorter episodes, so
see you next time.
Easier on you.
Pathfind your way to our episodes.
Hopefully your pathfinding is better than our RTS game.
Just end it. Just get out.
Sorry.